So this is Dr. Story. Type 2 diabetes is a very serious condition. When your blood sugar is high, and if you've had a blood test, your blood sugar should be between 80 and 100. Anything above 100 is considered high. When your blood sugar is high, what I want you to think of is those little sugar molecules are like little razor blades traveling through your bloodstream. Well, what they do is as they're traveling through the bloodstream, they actually will nick the inside of your bloodstream, kind of give a little tear here and there. What ends up happening is then your body has to try to correct that tear. And what ends up happening is it starts forming scar tissue and starts using plaque to fill in those little holes where the razor blades were cutting the inside of your arteries. Over a period of time, that plaque starts to fill up the artery. There's your cardiovascular disease. So diabetes is a very serious disease, and you need to maintain steady blood sugar. Now, one of the problems is if you go on the internet or YouTube, what ends up happening is if you watch these videos, some of these doctors, it's almost as if they're not talking to someone who's human. What ends up happening is they're like, okay, you need to eat grass-fed beef, and you need to change your diet, and you need to take all these supplements, and you're never gonna have sugar again, and you're never gonna have sweets, and you're never gonna have pasta. And the reality is, anybody who's dealt with patients and real people knows that it just does not work. It's so overwhelming that patients literally don't know what to do, and they just go, forget it, I'll just take medication. Well, let me give you some unconventional advice that I give to my patients to get them started, and it's this. You don't have to change the world right now. You don't have to change your diet right now. What you have to do is you have to change one piece of your diet. So let's assume that people eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and they probably have 2 or 3 snacks throughout the day. What I recommend is to start off with breakfast. Let's get breakfast down. I tell patients, don't worry about lunch. Eat your potato chips, drink your coffee during the day if you need to. Let's not try to change the world right now. Let's do this. Let's make a breakfast a perfect breakfast. Once you've nailed that, then what we're going to do is we're going to figure out how to make you have a perfect lunch. Pretty soon before you know it, you're eating a great lunch, a great breakfast, then we can worry about the snacks. Then what happens is you start the patient on this snowball effect. So if they make little changes in their diet, over a period of time you could revolutionize your diet, and it's not really that big of a deal. So let's start with breakfast. An ideal breakfast would be a breakfast that includes a lot of protein and healthy fats. I personally like eggs and avocado. Now, I live in California, so avocados are pretty out there and stuff like that. We have a lot of avocados. They're always fresh. But you don't have to do that. Figure out a breakfast that has a lot of protein and a lot of good fats. You could use olive oil, you could use coconut oil, you could use eggs, you could use certain meats. If you're a vegan, you could find protein that is affordable to you and readily available to you, something that you like. So our goal is to primarily have protein and fat. Get that down. Now, if you're gonna have carbohydrates, make sure the amount of carbohydrates, the number of grams of carbohydrates, does not exceed the amount that's of the protein. And what that does, the fat and the protein slows down the absorption of the carbohydrate. The benefit of that is you don't get a spike with your pancreas secreting insulin. So if you can get this breakfast down, later on in other videos I'll give you advice on what to do with snacks and lunches and dinners and so forth like that. So if you thought this video was informative, give me a thumbs up, ask your questions in the comment section below, and share this with other people that have diabetes because it really will help them. Thanks for watching.